Elena Ashford grabbed Marcus Williams by the collar and slammed him against the Mercedes. "You think you can just walk into my world and change things?" Her voice cracked. Tears streamed down her face. "You think your kindness means anything to someone like me?" Marcus didn't fight back, didn't raise his hands, just looked at her with those steady brown eyes. "I think you're terrified," he said quietly. "Not of me, of yourself." Elena released him, stepped back, her whole body trembling. This was the woman who'd called him the help in front of clients. The woman who'd made him wait in parking garages for hours without food. The woman who'd told him his neighborhood wasn't appropriate for someone like her. Now she was falling apart in his arms, and what she confessed next would destroy everything both of them thought they knew about love, race, and redemption. Where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments so I can see how far this story has traveled. We don't hire people like you. Marcus Williams stood in the lobby of Ashford Industries, those 5 words ringing in his ears. The receptionist hadn't even looked up from her computer when she said it. "Excuse me?" "I said we don't hire—" She glanced up, paused. "Oh, you're the driver candidate?" "Yes." "I thought you were here for—" "Never mind. Have a seat." Marcus sat down. His only good tie felt like a noose. His stomach was empty. He'd skipped breakfast to save money for Maya's lunch. 34 years old, single father, 12 days from eviction. His phone buzzed. A text from Mrs. Park, his elderly neighbor watching Maya. "She asked why there's no milk again. I told her you're buying some today. I hope that's true. Good luck, Marcus." He typed back with shaking fingers. "Thank you. I'll figure it out." But he had no idea how. His last $47 sat in his checking account. The eviction notice on his kitchen counter gave him 2 weeks. And this job, the job everyone warned him about, paid $75,000 a year. Enough to save everything. If he could survive Elena Ashford. The elevator opened at exactly 1:58 p.m. A man stumbled out. White, expensive suit, maybe 50 years old. His face was pale. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. He looked at Marcus with hollow eyes. "Run," he whispered, "while you still can." Then he walked straight to the stairs and disappeared. Marcus's heart pounded, but he didn't move. The receptionist's phone buzzed. "Mr. Williams, she'll see you now." He stood, straightened his tie, walked toward the double doors. The office was massive, cold. No photographs anywhere. Just glass and steel and a view of the city that probably cost more than Marcus would earn in a lifetime. Elena Ashford stood with her back to him, phone pressed to her ear. "I don't care about his excuses. Fire him. Today." She hung up, didn't turn around. "Sit." Marcus sat. She let him wait. 1 minute, 2, 3. Power play. He recognized it. Refused to let it rattle him. Finally, she turned. Platinum blonde hair in a razor-sharp bob. Ice blue eyes that dissected him like a specimen. Designer suit that cost more than his car, his apartment, and everything he owned combined. She was 29 years old and worth $4 billion. She looked at him like he was dirt on her shoe. "Marcus Williams," she read from a tablet, not meeting his eyes. 34, single father, former accountant at Hartwell & Associates, fired 6 months ago. The company downsized. My entire department was, I didn't ask for excuses. Marcus closed his mouth. Elena circled her desk slowly. Predator assessing prey. "Do you know how many drivers I've had in the past year, Mr. Williams?" "I've heard it's been several." 7. She stopped directly in front of him. 7 drivers in 12 months. Do you know why? I imagine the job is demanding. The job is simple. Drive the car, open the door, keep your mouth shut. She leaned closer. The problem is finding someone competent enough to handle even that, especially from certain backgrounds. Marcus felt the words like a knife, but he didn't flinch. What backgrounds would those be, Ms. Ashford? She smiled, cold, empty. You know exactly what I mean. The silence stretched between them like a wire about to snap. I need this job, Marcus said evenly. And I'll do it better than anyone you've had before. They all say that. I'm not them. Elena studied him. Something flickered in her eyes. Curiosity? Contempt? He couldn't tell. You have a daughter, 7 years old. No mother. My wife passed away 4 years ago. Cancer, according to your file. No sympathy in her voice, just data. Single fathers are unreliable. Children get sick. Schools call. Emergencies happen. My daughter has excellent care. My personal life won't affect my work. It always affects the work, Mr. Williams. The question is whether you're honest enough to admit it. She walked back behind her desk, sat down, steepled her fingers. I'll be direct with you. I don't think you're right for this position. Your background, your circumstances, your profile. It's not what I typically look for. Marcus felt his chance slipping away. The eviction notice, Maya's empty lunchbox, the electricity bill he couldn't pay. With respect, Ms. Ashford, what do you typically look for? Professionalism, discretion, someone who understands their place. And you don't think I understand my place? I think people from your situation often have chips on their shoulders, resentments, agendas. Marcus leaned forward slightly. Every instinct told him to walk out, to tell this woman exactly what he thought of her assumptions. But Maya's face appeared in his mind, her voice asking why they couldn't buy ice cream anymore. Ms. Ashford, I'm not here to prove anything to you about where I come from. I'm here because I have a daughter who depends on me. I've been searching for work for 6 months. I've applied to 217 jobs. I've been rejected, ignored, and told I'm overqualified, underqualified, or just not the right fit. He paused. I'm tired, but I'm not broken, and I will outwork anyone you put in that driver's seat. Not because I have something to prove to you, because I have someone waiting for me at home who needs me to succeed. Elena was silent for a long moment. You start Monday, she said finally. 6 a.m. Don't be late. Marcus blinked. I got the job? Don't make me regret it. She turned back to her computer. My assistant will give you the details. Close the door on your way out. He stood, walked to the door, stopped. Thank you, Ms. Ashford. She didn't look up. I said close the door. That night, Marcus sat on Maya's bed while she finished her homework. Daddy, did you get the job? I did, baby girl. Is your boss nice? Marcus thought about Elena's cold eyes, her comments about his background, the way she'd looked at him like he was less than human. She's complicated. What does complicated mean? It means I don't understand her yet, but I'm going to try. Maya nodded seriously. Mommy was complicated sometimes. Remember when she'd get quiet and you'd bring her flowers? Marcus's throat tightened. I remember. Maybe your boss needs flowers too. He pulled her into a hug. Maybe she does, sweetheart. Maybe she does. His phone rang at midnight. His mother's name lit up the screen. Mama, it's late. Don't you mama me. Your sister called. Said you took that Ashford job. I did. Marcus Darnell Williams, have you lost your mind? That woman is poison. I've read about her. They call her the Ice Queen. And the things people say, rumors, mama. Where there's smoke, there's fire. That woman's got more smoke than a burning building. Marcus rubbed his eyes. It pays $75,000. Silence on the other end. 75? A year, plus benefits, plus a company car. More silence. Well, his mother's voice softened. That's good money. It's enough to get caught up, to give Maya some stability. But at what cost? Your dignity? Your self-respect? I can handle it. Can you? Because the last man who worked for her, I know, Mama. I read the reviews. Then you know she breaks people. That's what she does. She finds their weakness and she breaks them. Marcus looked at his bedroom door. Beyond it, Maya slept peacefully, unaware of how close they were to losing everything. Then she'll have to try harder with me. Monday morning, 5:47 a.m. Marcus pulled the black Mercedes to the curb outside Elena's penthouse building. His hands were steady. His tie was straight. He'd been awake since 4, too nervous to sleep. At exactly 6 o'clock, Elena emerged. Black coat, black heels, black briefcase, black expression. She walked to the car without acknowledging him. He opened the door. She slid inside without a word. He got behind the wheel. Ashford Industries, take Madison. I assume you know where that is. Yes, ma'am. He pulled into traffic. The silence in the car was suffocating. 5 minutes passed. You're going too slow. I'm at the speed limit, ma'am. The speed limit is for people who don't matter. Go faster. He increased speed slightly. The temperature is wrong. He adjusted it. Too cold now. He adjusted it again. And stop looking at me in the mirror. He fixed his eyes on the road, his jaw tight. Better, she said. Perhaps you can be trained after all. Day 2 was worse. Elena took a call during the morning commute. A client named Morrison, from what Marcus could gather. The deal wasn't going well. I don't care about his concerns. Tell Morrison that if he wants Ashford Industries resources, he plays by Ashford Industries rules. She hung up, sighed. Driver. Yes, ma'am? Did you hear that conversation? I wasn't listening, ma'am. Of course you were. Everyone listens. She met his eyes in the rearview mirror. Let me be clear. Everything you hear in this car stays in this car. I don't care if you hear me planning a murder. You keep your mouth shut. Understood? Understood. Good. Now stop at the next Starbucks. I need coffee. He stopped, opened her door, waited while she went inside. 20 minutes passed. His parking spot was illegal. A meter maid approached. Sir, you can't park here. I'm waiting for someone. She'll just be a minute. You need to move. I can't move. My employer, Elena, emerged from Starbucks, walked past the meter maid like she didn't exist, got in the car. Drive. The meter maid started writing a ticket. Marcus looked at Elena in the mirror. Ma'am, I said drive. He drove. The ticket went on the windshield. That ticket will come out of your pay, Elena said calmly. Ma'am, I tried to... Did I ask for excuses? Marcus gripped the steering wheel. No, ma'am. Then don't offer them. Day 3. A business lunch downtown. Marcus opened the door for Elena. A client approached. White man, friendly face. Elena, wonderful to see you. He noticed Marcus. extended his hand. "And you must be the new driver. I'm Robert Chen. Elena speaks highly of her team." Marcus shook his hand. "Marcus Williams. Pleasure to meet you." "Driver," Elena's voice cut like a blade. "We don't fraternize with clients. Wait by the car." Robert's smile faltered. "Elena, I was just being friendly. The help doesn't need friends. He needs to do his job." She turned to Marcus. "Car. Now." Marcus walked back to the Mercedes. His face burned. Robert watched him go, looking embarrassed. He waited 3 hours. No lunch, no bathroom break. No acknowledgement when Elena finally emerged. She got in the car, closed her eyes. That meeting was tedious. Marcus said nothing. Nothing to say? Usually the new ones have something to say by now. Some complaint, some wounded pride. "I'm here to drive, ma'am, not to talk." She opened one eye, looked at him. Interesting. Day 4, 3:47 a.m. His phone rang. "I need you here in 20 minutes. Marcus sat up, heart pounding. "Ma'am?" "Hong Kong is awake, and I have a conference call. Be here in 20 minutes or don't bother coming back." She hung up. Marcus called Mrs. Park with shaking hands. "Mrs. Park, I'm so sorry to wake you. I need—" "Bring her over, Marcus. I'll put her in the guest bed." "I owe you so much." "You owe me nothing. Go." He carried Maya, still sleeping, across the hall. Mrs. Park took her gently. "This isn't sustainable," she whispered. "I know." "She's going to work you to death." "I know." He drove to Elena's building in 18 minutes. She was waiting in the lobby. Looked at her watch. 19 minutes. Traffic was, "I don't care about traffic." She brushed past him toward the car. "Open the door." He opened it. The call lasted until 7 a.m. 3 hours of Marcus driving in circles while Elena negotiated in the back seat. When it finally ended, she closed her laptop. "Take me home. I need to shower before the 9 o'clock. "Yes, ma'am." At her building, she paused before getting out. "You didn't complain." "Should I have?" "Most do, by now." "I'm not most." She studied him. That flicker again. Something almost like respect. "No," she said quietly. "Perhaps you're not." Day 5. The moment everything changed. Elena had a site visit in the afternoon. A property Ashford Industries was considering for development. On the east side of the city. Marcus knew a shortcut. Through Riverside. The neighborhood where he'd grown up. Where his mother still lived. He took it without thinking. Elena looked up from her phone. Looked out the window. Her face changed. "Where are we?" "Riverside, ma'am. It saves 15 minutes. "Stop the car." He stopped. Elena stared out the window. At the row houses. The corner stores. The black kids playing basketball in a driveway. "This is where you're from, isn't it?" Marcus's hands tightened on the wheel. "Yes, ma'am." "I can tell." She turned to look at him. "Take Madison next time. I don't come through areas like this." "Areas like what?" The question came out before he could stop it. Elena's eyes hardened. "You know exactly what I mean, Mr. Williams. This neighborhood isn't appropriate for someone in my position. The optics are wrong." "The optics." "Don't repeat my words back to me. Just drive. And next time, use your head." Marcus pulled back onto the road. His jaw ached from clenching. "Something to say?" Elena asked. "No, ma'am." "Good. Keep it that way." That night, Marcus almost quit. He sat in his car outside his apartment building for an hour, thinking about Maya, the eviction, the empty refrigerator, thinking about Elena's words. Areas like this. People like you. The help. His phone buzzed. A text from his mother. How was work? He typed, Fine. Liar, call me when you're ready to talk. He wasn't ready. Might never be ready. But he got out of the car and went inside. Day 6, Saturday. His first day off. Marcus took Maya to the park. They fed ducks, ate ice cream, real ice cream from a real shop. Daddy, you seem different. How so? Quieter, like when Mommy was sick and you didn't want me to know. Marcus's heart cracked. I'm just tired, baby girl. Because of your boss? Work is hard sometimes. Maya considered this with 7-year-old gravity. Is she mean to you? She's demanding. What does demanding mean? It means she expects a lot. Do you give her a lot? I try. Maya nodded. Mommy used to say, some people are mean because they're hurting inside. Maybe your boss is hurting and doesn't know how to show it. Marcus stared at his daughter. Sometimes she said things that stopped the world. Where'd you get so smart? From Mommy, she grinned. And you. Mostly Mommy, though. He laughed. For the first time in a week, he actually laughed. Day 8. The crisis. Mrs. Park called at 6 a.m. Her voice was strained. Marcus, I fell last night. My daughter is taking me to the hospital. I can't. Is Maya okay? She's fine. She's with my daughter now. But I can't watch her anymore, Marcus. Not for a while. I'm so sorry. His world collapsed. Don't apologize. Are you okay? Is anything broken? I don't know yet. I'm so sorry to do this to you. Just take care of yourself. I'll figure something out. He hung up, stared at the wall. No backup plan. No alternatives. No options. Except one. Maya sat in the front seat of the Mercedes, clutching her backpack. Daddy, this car is so fancy. It's not ours, baby. It belongs to my boss. Are we going to meet her? I don't know, sweetheart. I hope not. He drove to Elena's building with his heart in his throat. This would get him fired. He knew it would get him fired. But he had no choice. At 6 a.m., Elena emerged, walked toward the car, stopped. She saw Maya through the window. Her face went cold. Then something else. Something Marcus couldn't read. She opened the back door, got in. Mr. Williams, explain. My childcare fell through. It's temporary. I'm working on... Is this your daughter? Yes, ma'am. Elena looked at Maya. Maya looked back, unafraid. Hi, Maya said. I'm Maya. You have pretty hair. Elena blinked. For the first time since Marcus had met her, she seemed genuinely surprised. Thank you, she said slowly. You have good manners. My daddy taught me. He says manners don't cost anything, but they're worth everything. Silence. Elena met Marcus's eyes in the rearview mirror. Bring her inside. Ma'am? Your daughter. Bring her to my office. A child in the front seat is a liability. She can stay with my assistant while we work. Marcus couldn't believe it. It's practical. Don't read anything more into it. Let's go. Elena's office transformed with Maya in it. The little girl set up her coloring books by the window, asked questions constantly. Why don't you have pictures on your wall? Elena looked up. What? Pictures. Of your family? Of friends? My daddy has pictures everywhere. I don't have time for pictures. That's sad. Is it? Yeah, pictures help you remember the good stuff when things get hard. That's what Daddy says. Elena was quiet for a long moment. Your father is wise. He's the smartest person I know, after Mommy. But Mommy's in heaven now. Something shifted in Elena's face, a crack in the ice. I'm sorry about your mother. It's okay. Daddy says she's still with us, just in a different way. Maya held up her drawing. Do you want to see my butterfly? Elena looked at the crayon drawing. Blue wings, purple spots. Crooked, but careful. It's beautiful, she said, and Marcus heard something in her voice he'd never heard before. Warmth. At noon, Elena ordered lunch for 3. The child needs to eat, she said when Marcus tried to protest. Maya ate her sandwich happily. Miss Elena, why do you work so much? Because my company needs me. Don't you have family who needs you too? Elena's hand froze over her salad. No, not really. That's sad. Everybody needs family. Not everyone has that luxury, Maya. It's not a luxury, it's a choice. That's what Daddy says. Family is people who choose each other. Elena looked at Marcus. Something passed between them, something unspoken. Your daughter, she said quietly, is remarkable. She gets that from her mother. And her father, I think. At 4 o'clock, Elena canceled her last 2 meetings. I'm tired, she said. No other explanation. She watched Maya color until 5 o'clock, listened to her chatter about school, about butterflies, about her daddy. He sings to me when I can't sleep, Maya said. Even when he's really tired. He always sings. What does he sing? Old songs, ones his mommy taught him. They make me feel safe. Elena's eyes glistened, just for a second. Then she blinked it away. You're lucky, she said softly, to have someone who makes you feel safe. That evening, as Marcus loaded Maya into the car, Elena appeared. Mr. Williams. Ma'am? My assistant has a daughter, 9 years old. She can supervise Maya during work hours if needed. Marcus stared. Ms. Ashford, I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. She paused. It's practical. Your childcare issues affect your performance. This solves the problem. That's incredibly generous. It's efficient. She turned to leave, stopped. Your daughter? Yes. She's not terrible. Coming from Elena Ashford, Marcus knew that was extraordinary. Thank you, he said, for everything today. She nodded once. Then she was gone. Maya tugged his sleeve. Daddy? Yeah, baby girl? I like her. She's sad inside, but I think she's getting better. Marcus looked up at the penthouse windows. Somewhere up there, Elena Ashford was alone, surrounded by glass and steel and money, but alone. I think so too, sweetheart. He started the car and drove home. And behind them, in her empty office, Elena Ashford held Maya's butterfly drawing. She looked at it for a long time. Then she opened her desk drawer, full of documents and contracts worth millions, and placed the crooked crayon butterfly carefully inside. Her hands were trembling. She didn't know why. The weeks that followed changed something between them. Not obviously, not in ways anyone else would notice. But Marcus felt it in the small moments. The way Elena's voice softened when Maya was around. The way she stopped calling him the help in front of clients. The way she sometimes asked about his daughter before barking her morning orders. How was Maya adjusting to the new arrangement? Elena asked one morning, 2 weeks after the butterfly drawing incident. Marcus glanced at her in the rearview mirror, surprised. She loves it. Rachel's daughter Sophie has become her best friend. Good. Stability is important for children. It is. Thank you again for arranging it. Stop thanking me. It's becoming tedious. But there was no bite in her words, not like before. Maya had cracked something open in Elena Ashford, and now Marcus was beginning to see what lay beneath the ice. It wasn't pretty. The first time he saw Elena truly vulnerable was on a Tuesday night. A board meeting had run 6 hours. She'd emerged looking like she'd been through a war, exhaustion carved into every line of her face, her perfect composure barely holding. "Take me home," she said, her voice hollow. Marcus drove in silence. He'd learned when to speak and when to let the quiet do its work. Halfway to her penthouse, Elena's phone rang. She looked at the screen. Her face went pale. "What is it?" Marcus asked before he could stop himself. She didn't answer, just stared at the phone until it stopped ringing. "Ma'am, are you okay?" "My mother." The words came out flat, dead. "She calls once a year, on my father's death anniversary, to remind me I'm not him." Marcus didn't know what to say, so he said nothing. He died 3 years ago. Heart attack at his desk. Working until the very end. Elena laughed bitterly. "She blamed me, you know. Said the stress of training me to take over killed him. Said if he'd had a son, things would have been different." "That's not fair." "Fair?" Elena met his eyes in the mirror. "Mr. Williams, nothing about my family has ever been fair." She looked out the window. The city lights blurred past. "My father was a complicated man. Brilliant, ruthless. He built Ashford Industries from nothing, created an empire worth billions." She paused. "He also believed certain people were lesser. He had very specific ideas about who belonged in boardrooms and who belonged in service positions." Marcus's hands tightened on the wheel. "And you inherited those ideas?" "I inherited everything. His company, his expectations, his prejudices." She turned to look at him directly. "I was raised to believe people like you were meant to serve people like me. That's not an excuse. It's an explanation. Is there a difference?" "I'm beginning to think so." They pulled up to her building. Marcus got out, opened her door. She stood there for a moment, not moving. "My father would have hated you," she said quietly. "Not because of anything you've done, just because of who you are." "And you?" Elena looked at him, really looked at him. "I'm trying to be different. I don't know if I'm succeeding." She walked inside without another word. Marcus stood by the car for a long time, processing what had just happened. Elena Ashford, the Ice Queen, the woman who'd called him the help, who'd refused to drive through his neighborhood, had just admitted she was trying to change. He didn't know if he believed her, but for the first time, he wanted to. The next morning, Elena was different, colder, more distant, like she regretted showing him her cracks. "You're 3 minutes late," she snapped as she got in the car. "There was an accident on 5th. I don't care about accidents. I care about punctuality." Marcus bit back his response, drove in silence. But he noticed things. The way her hands trembled slightly when she checked her phone. The dark circles under her eyes that makeup couldn't quite hide. The way she kept looking out the window, like she was searching for something she couldn't find. "Ma'am, when did you last eat?" She looked up sharply. "Excuse me?" "You didn't have lunch yesterday. You skipped dinner the night before. And you just passed on breakfast at the Peterson meeting." "Are you monitoring my food intake now?" "I'm observing that you're running on coffee and willpower. Neither of those are sustainable." "I didn't ask for your observations." "No, but someone needs to make them." Elena stared at him. For a moment, he thought she was going to fire him on the spot. Instead, she laughed. A real laugh, surprised, almost warm. "You're either very brave or very stupid, Mr. Williams." "My mother says it's both." "She sounds like a wise woman." "She is. She also says you should never skip meals. Food is how we take care of ourselves when the world won't." Elena was quiet for a long moment. "Pull into that diner on the corner." "Ma'am?" "You heard me. I want pancakes, and you're going to join me." Marcus couldn't hide his shock. I'm not sure that's appropriate." "I decide what's appropriate. Park the car." He parked. The diner was small, crowded, nothing like the restaurants Elena usually frequented. She walked in like she owned the place. Old habits die hard. But she chose a booth in the corner, out of the way, almost private. A waitress approached, eyeing Elena's designer clothes with suspicion. "Help ya?" "2 coffees, 2 orders of pancakes, extra syrup." Elena looked at Marcus. "Unless you prefer something else?" "Pancakes are fine." The waitress left. Elena folded her hands on the table. "My father never ate in places like this. He said it was beneath him." She looked around. "I used to sneak out when I was in college. Find diners just like this one. Order pancakes and pretend I was normal." "Were you? Normal?" "For an hour at a time, maybe. Then I'd go back to my apartment, back to my studies, back to preparing to be worthy of his empire." She met Marcus's eyes. "Do you know what that's like? Spending your whole life trying to be worthy of something?" Marcus thought about the past 6 months. The job applications, the rejections, the eviction notice. Maya asking why they couldn't buy ice cream. "Yeah," he said quietly. "I do." Something passed between them. Recognition. Understanding. The pancakes arrived. Elena took a bite and closed her eyes. "God, these are good." "Diners always have the best pancakes. It's a rule." "Says who?" "My wife. She used to—" Marcus stopped, swallowed. "She used to drag me to every diner in the city looking for the perfect pancakes. She ranked them on a scale of 1 to 10. "And this one?" "Solid 8. The syrup is homemade." Elena studied him. "You loved her very much." "More than anything. Except Maya." "What happened, if you don't mind me asking?" Marcus set down his fork. "Breast cancer. Stage 4 by the time they found it. She fought for 14 months. 14 months of chemo and radiation and hope and despair and—" He stopped, breathed. "She made me promise to be happy, right before she died. Made me swear I wouldn't let grief become my whole life." "Have you kept that promise?" "I'm trying. It's harder than I thought it would be." Elena reached across the table. For a moment, Marcus thought she was going to touch his hand. But she stopped herself, pulled back. "I'm sorry," she said, "for what you've been through, and for how I've treated you." "Ma'am." "Elena. When we're not working, call me Elena." Marcus blinked. "I don't think that's—" "I know what you think. I know what everyone thinks. But I'm tired of being Ms. Ashford all the time. I'm tired of the Ice Queen Act. I'm tired of being my father's daughter." She looked at him with something like desperation. "Can you just, for one breakfast, treat me like a normal person?" Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Then he picked up his coffee. "Okay, Elena, but you're picking up the check. Normal people who are billionaires still pick up the check." She laughed, actually laughed, and for the first time, Marcus saw the woman behind the armor. She was lonely, terrified, trying so hard to be something she wasn't sure she could be. She was human. Things shifted after that breakfast. Elena still demanded excellence, still expected punctuality and professionalism. But the cruelty faded. The comments about his background stopped. She even started asking about Maya regularly, genuinely interested in his answers. "She wants to be a scientist," Marcus told her one afternoon. "Says she's going to cure cancer, like the kind that took her mom." Elena was quiet for a moment. That's beautiful. It's ambitious. Ambitious is good. Ambitious changes the world. She paused. I'd like to help, if you'd let me. There are science programs for gifted children, scholarships, opportunities I could open doors to. Marcus felt his guard rise. Why? Because your daughter is brilliant, and because brilliant children deserve every advantage, regardless of their circumstances. You barely know her. I know enough. I know she made me laugh for the first time in months. I know she sees things in people that they try to hide. I know she draws butterflies and gives them to strangers who don't deserve them. Marcus looked at her in the rearview mirror. You kept it. The drawing. Elena's cheeks colored slightly. It's in my desk. Why? Because no one's given me anything that wasn't transactional in 10 years. Because a 7-year-old looked at me, the person everyone fears and hates, and saw someone worth giving a gift to. Her voice cracked. Because I didn't know I needed it until I had it. Marcus didn't know what to say, so he just drove. But something in his chest shifted. The wall he'd built against her, the wall that protected him from her cruelty, her prejudice, her coldness, began to crumble. He was starting to care about Elena Ashford, and that terrified him more than anything. The first real test came 3 weeks later. A company gala. Black tie. Every major player in the tech industry would be there. Elena had been preparing for weeks. This was her chance to secure 3 major contracts and solidify Ashford Industries' position in the market. Marcus drove her to the venue, opened her door, watched her step out in a silver gown that probably cost more than his annual salary. Wait here, she said. I'll be out by 11. He waited. 1 hour. 2. 3. At midnight, his phone buzzed. A text from Elena. Come inside. Service entrance. Now. He found her in a back hallway, her perfect makeup ruined by tears. What happened? Harrison Blackwell happened. She wiped her eyes furiously. Board member. My father's oldest friend. He cornered me at the bar, told me the board is concerned about my leadership, my choices, my personal associations. Marcus felt his stomach drop. Personal associations. He means you, Elena laughed bitterly. Apparently, word has gotten around that I've been spending time with my driver, that I've been letting his daughter into my office, that I've been, she made air quotes, compromising my professional image. I'll resign. Tonight, Don't you dare! Elena grabbed his arm. Don't you dare let them win. Elena, if I'm causing problems for your company, you're not causing problems. They're causing problems. They're threatened by change, by anything that doesn't look like what they expect. She met his eyes. My father surrounded himself with men like Harrison, men who believed in the old ways, men who thought certain people didn't belong in certain spaces. And you're different? I'm trying to be. God, I'm trying. Her voice broke. But sometimes I don't know if I'm strong enough, if I'm good enough, if I'm anything more than a scared girl in her father's chair, pretending to know what she's doing. Marcus did something he never thought he'd do. He put his hands on her shoulders. Elena, listen to me. I've watched you work 18-hour days without complaint. I've seen you make decisions that affect thousands of people and lose sleep over them. I've watched you show kindness to my daughter when no one was looking. He paused. You're not pretending. You're learning. There's a difference. She looked up at him, vulnerable, afraid. Do you really believe that? I wouldn't say it if I didn't. She stepped closer, close enough that he could smell her perfume, close enough that he could see the hope fighting against the fear in her eyes. Marcus, I need to tell you something. What? I'm starting to... The door burst open. Harrison Blackwell stood there, drink in hand, smirk on his face. Well, well, the rumors are true. He looked at Marcus like he was something stuck to his shoe. Victoria, I expected better from you. It's Elena, and you don't know anything about what you're seeing. I know exactly what I'm seeing. A desperate woman making desperate choices. He turned to Marcus. How much is she paying you for the extra services? Marcus felt rage rise in his chest. But before he could speak, Elena stepped forward. Get out. Excuse me? I said get out. And when the board meets on Monday, I want your resignation on the table. Blackwell laughed. You can't fire me. I have shares. I have allies. You have nothing I can't take away. My father trusted you. I don't. And if you ever speak to Marcus like that again, if you ever speak about him like that again, I will personally ensure that every door in this industry closes in your face. Blackwell's smile faded. You're making a mistake, Elena. No, I'm correcting one. She took Marcus's hand, publicly, deliberately. Now get out of my sight. Blackwell left, but his words hung in the air like poison. The drive home was silent. Marcus kept his eyes on the road, his mind racing. You shouldn't have done that, he finally said. Done what? Defended me, taken my hand, made yourself a target. Elena turned to look at him. Marcus, I've been a target my whole life. Being born rich and female guaranteed that. Being my father's daughter sealed it. One more enemy doesn't scare me. It should. Blackwell has power. And I have more, she paused. But that's not why I did it. Then why? Because you're not just my driver anymore. You're... She stopped, struggled for words. You're important to me. You and Maya. I don't know when that happened or how, but I can't pretend it didn't. Marcus pulled the car over, turned around to face her. Elena, we need to be careful here. Why? Because this, whatever this is, it's complicated. I'm still your employee. You're still who you are. People like Blackwell will use it against you, use it against Maya, use it against everything you've built. I don't care. You should. I spent my whole life caring what people thought. Where did it get me? Alone in a penthouse, having panic attacks at 3 a.m, wondering if anyone in my life actually sees me. She reached out, touched his face. You see me, Marcus. You and your daughter. You see me, and you don't run away. That's not enough reason to blow up your life. Maybe not, but it's a start. Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, sighed. The Peterson Group just pulled out of negotiations. Blackwell's already making calls. I'm sorry. Don't be. This isn't your fault. It is, though. If you wasn't what? Black? Single? A father? Elena's eyes flashed. Marcus, if the only way I can keep my company is by hiding who I care about, by pretending that caring about someone like you is shameful, then I don't want that company. You don't mean that. I've never meant anything more. She leaned forward. For a moment, Marcus thought she was going to kiss him. Instead, she whispered, I'm not my father. I refuse to be my father. And if the world burns because I chose to be different, then let it burn. Marcus drove her home in silence. But when she got out of the car, she paused. Maya's birthday is next week, isn't it? He blinked at the change of subject. How did you know? I pay attention, she smiled. I'd like to do something, if you'll let me. Elena, you don't have to. I want to. Please. Marcus looked at her. This woman who'd called him the help, who'd refused to drive through his neighborhood, who'd inherited prejudice like a birthright. This woman who was fighting to be different. "Okay," he said, "but nothing too extravagant. Maya's a simple kid." Elena's smile widened. "I can do simple." She couldn't do simple. Maya's 8th birthday party was supposed to be small. A few friends from school. Cake and ice cream at the apartment. Maybe a trip to the movies, if Marcus could swing it. Instead, Elena rented out an entire floor of the Natural History Museum. "I thought you said simple," Marcus hissed as Maya ran toward the dinosaur exhibit, screaming with joy. "This is simple," Elena protested. "I wanted to rent the whole museum." "That's not—" He stopped. Sighed. "You're impossible. I prefer determined." Maya ran back, grabbing both their hands. "Daddy, Miss Elena, come see the butterflies." They followed her through the exhibits, Maya chattering endlessly about each display. Elena listened with genuine fascination, asking questions, laughing at Maya's jokes. "She's incredible," Elena whispered to Marcus, while Maya examined a beetle collection. "She gets that from her mother." "And her father?" Marcus felt his cheeks warm. "You keep saying that." "Because it's true." Elena watched Maya press her face against the glass, delighted by a blue morpho butterfly. "You've raised her alone for 4 years, Marcus. You've given her stability and love and hope. That's not nothing. That's everything." "I've also given her an empty refrigerator and eviction notices." "Those are circumstances. They're not who you are." Maya ran back, pulling Elena by the hand. "Miss Elena, there's a room where you can touch real fossils. Will you come?" "Of course, sweetheart." Marcus watched them go, his daughter and the woman who'd once called him the help, and felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Later that night, after the party, after Maya had fallen asleep clutching the butterfly book Elena had given her, Marcus sat on his fire escape and thought about what was happening. His phone buzzed. Elena. "Is she asleep?" "Out cold. Best birthday of her life," she said. "Good." A pause. "Marcus, can we talk? In person?" "It's late." "I know. I can't stop thinking about what Blackwell said, about what everyone will say, about what this means." "What does it mean?" "I don't know yet, but I want to figure it out. With you." Marcus looked through the window at Maya, peaceful in her bed. "I have to think about her," he said quietly. "Every decision I make has to be about her." "I know. I would never ask you to choose." "Then what are you asking?" Silence. Then, softly. "I'm asking if you believe people can change." Marcus thought about Elena at the gala, defending him. Elena at the diner, eating pancakes. Elena today, covered in museum dust, laughing with his daughter. "Yeah," he said finally. "I do." "Then maybe we can figure this out. Together." "Maybe." "That's not a no." "It's not a yes either." "I'll take it." He could hear her smile through the phone. "Good night, Marcus." "Good night, Elena." He hung up, looked out at the city lights, and for the first time since his wife died, Marcus Williams let himself imagine a future that wasn't just about survival. It was about something more. The call came at 6:47 a.m. on a Monday morning. Marcus was making Maya's breakfast when his phone buzzed. Elena's name flashed on the screen. She never called this early unless something was wrong. "Elena?" "They're calling an emergency board meeting." Her voice was tight, controlled, but he could hear the fear underneath. "Blackwell has enough votes to force a confidence motion." "When?" "Friday. 4 days." Marcus set down the spatula. "What does that mean?" It means if they vote against me, I lose control of my own company. My father's company. She laughed bitterly. Everything I've worked for, gone in one afternoon. What can I do? Nothing. This is my fight. Elena, I have to go. Meeting with my lawyers in 20 minutes. She paused. I just wanted to hear your voice. She hung up before he could respond. Maya appeared in the kitchen doorway, still in her pajamas. Who is that, Daddy? Miss Elena. Is she okay? Marcus looked at his daughter, 8 years old and already too perceptive for her own good. She's having a hard time at work. Maybe we should make her cookies. Cookies always make me feel better when things are hard. Marcus smiled despite everything. That's a good idea, baby girl. That's a really good idea. The next 4 days were brutal. Marcus drove Elena to meetings with lawyers, accountants, and allies who were becoming harder to find. He watched her work through the night, fueled by coffee and determination. He saw the toll it was taking, the dark circles, the weight loss, the way her hands trembled when she thought no one was looking. You need to sleep, he told her on Wednesday night. I'll sleep when this is over. Elena, you're going to collapse. Then I'll collapse after Friday. She rubbed her temples. Blackwell has been busy. He's convinced half the board that I'm emotionally unstable, that my personal distractions are affecting my judgment. Personal distractions, meaning me. Meaning us. She looked up at him. I'm sorry, Marcus. I never meant to drag you into this. You didn't drag me anywhere. I walked in with my eyes open. Did you? Did you know that caring about me would put a target on your back? Marcus sat down across from her. Elena, I knew who you were when I took this job. I knew the risks, and I stayed anyway. Why? He thought about it. Really thought about it. Because you're not who you pretend to be. Because underneath all the ice and the armor, there's a woman who keeps butterfly drawings in her desk and cancels meetings to take a little girl to see dinosaurs. He paused. Because my wife would have liked you, and her judgment was better than mine ever was. Elena's eyes filled with tears. I don't deserve that. Maybe not, but you're getting it anyway. She reached across the desk and took his hand. What if I lose everything? Then we figure out what comes next. Together. Together. She held his hand tighter. I'm starting to like that word. Thursday night, Marcus's mother called. I've been watching the news, she said. That Ashford woman is all over it. Board members saying she's lost her mind. Rumors about her personal life. A pause. They're talking about you, baby. I know, Mama. They're saying she's involved with her driver, that she's lost her judgment, that she's... Mama, stop. Silence on the other end. I love her. More silence. Then, quietly. Oh, Marcus. I know it's complicated. I know it's messy. But she's not who they say she is. She's not who anyone thinks she is. And what about Maya? What happens to her when this all falls apart? Elena would never hurt Maya. She loves her. She's known her for 2 months. Sometimes 2 months is enough. His mother sighed. You're stubborn, just like your father. That's the second time you've said that. Because it's true, twice. She paused. I want to meet her. Marcus blinked. What? This woman who's got my son talking about love for the first time since Denise died. I want to meet her. Mama, she's in the middle of a corporate war. After the war, then, when the dust settles. Another pause. I don't have to like her, but I need to see her. I need to know who my son is fighting for. I'll ask her. You do that. His mother's voice softened. And Marcus, whatever happens Friday, you're a good man. Don't let anyone make you feel like less. I won't, Mama. I promise. Friday arrived like a storm that had been building for weeks. Marcus drove Elena to Ashford Industries at 7 a.m. The board meeting was scheduled for 10 o'clock, but she wanted time to prepare, to strategize, to breathe. Whatever happens today, she said as they pulled into the parking garage, I need you to know something. What? You and Maya saved me. I was drowning before you came along. Drowning in expectations and loneliness and my father's ghost. You threw me a rope. She met his eyes. I'm going to fight like hell today. But even if I lose, I've already won something that matters more. Marcus wanted to say something. Wanted to tell her he loved her. Wanted to promise that everything would be okay. But before he could speak, she was out of the car and walking toward the elevator. He waited. The hours crawled by. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. At 10:47, his phone buzzed. A text from Elena. Blackwell just presented his case. He's calling you as evidence of my poor judgment. Says hiring you was a mistake. Says keeping you was worse. Marcus stared at the screen. His hands shook. Another text. I'm about to speak. Whatever happens, don't blame yourself. This was never about you. It was always about them being afraid of change. He typed back, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. No response. At 11:32, the elevator doors opened. Elena walked out. Her face was unreadable. Her posture perfect. But Marcus had learned to see beyond the armor. She got in the car, closed the door. Drive. Elena, what? Just drive. Please. He drove. Out of the garage, onto the highway. No destination, just motion. 10 minutes passed before she spoke. They voted. And? It was close, closer than I expected. She turned to look out the window. Margaret Chen broke the tie. She voted to keep me. Marcus exhaled. So you won. I survived. There's a difference. She laughed, but there was no joy in it. Blackwell didn't get what he wanted, but he got something. The board is requiring me to address concerns about professional boundaries, which means I have to choose. Choose what? Between running Ashford Industries the way I want to run it, with you by my side, with Maya in my life, with everything we've built, or playing their game, keeping my head down, being the CEO they want me to be instead of the person I'm trying to become. Marcus pulled the car over, turned to face her. What do you want to do? I want to tell them to go to hell. Tears streamed down her face. I want to walk into that boardroom and say that I love you, that I'm not ashamed of it, that they can take their concerns and shove them. She wiped her eyes angrily. But I also want to protect you, to protect Maya, and I don't know if I can do both. Elena. They'll come after you, Marcus. If I push back, they'll dig into your past. They'll investigate your family. They'll look for anything they can use. She grabbed his hand. I can't let them hurt you. I can't let them hurt Maya. That's not your decision to make. Of course it is. I'm the one who started this. I'm the one who... You're the one who saw me when no one else did. Marcus's voice was firm. You're the one who gave my daughter birthday parties and butterfly books. You're the one who's been fighting to change, even when it cost you everything. He cupped her face in his hands. I'm not going anywhere, Elena. I'm not running from this. Why? Why would you stay when leaving is so much easier? Because my wife made me promise to be happy. And you make me happy. You and your impossible standards, And your secret butterfly drawings and your terrible taste in coffee, he smiled. Because Maya loves you. Because I love you. And I'm done pretending I don't. Elena stared at him. You love me? I love you. Even after everything? Even knowing what my family believed? What I used to believe? People aren't what they come from, Elena. They're what they choose to become. And you've been choosing, every single day, to be different. She kissed him, not soft, not tentative, fierce and desperate and full of everything neither of them had been able to say. When they finally pulled apart, Elena was crying and laughing at the same time. This is crazy, she said. Probably. The board is going to lose their minds. Probably. Blackwell is going to try to destroy us. Let him try. Elena looked at him with something like wonder. You really mean that, don't you? Elena, I've been poor. I've been alone. I've buried the woman I loved and raised our daughter with nothing but hope and stubbornness. He took her hand. Harrison Blackwell is just a man with money and grudges. I've faced worse. What have you faced that's worse than a vindictive billionaire? An 8-year-old who doesn't want to take a bath. Elena laughed. A real laugh, the kind he'd only heard a few times before. I love you, Marcus Williams. I love you too, Elena Ashford. So what do we do now? Marcus started the car. Now, we go pick up Maya from school. We take her for ice cream. We tell her what's happening. And then we figure out the rest together. Together. That's the deal. Elena smiled. For the first time in days, she looked like herself again. Okay, she said. Let's go get our girl. Maya's reaction was not what Marcus expected. They picked her up from school and took her to the ice cream shop on 5th Street, the one with the purple booths that Maya loved. Marcus had practiced what to say, how to explain, how to make it gentle. But Maya was 8 years old and smarter than both of them combined. You're together now, aren't you? She said, looking between them. Like, together? Marcus choked on his coffee. How did you— Daddy, you look at her the way you used to look at Mommy. Like she's the sun, and you can't help staring even though you know you'll go blind. Elena's mouth fell open. Maya, and you look at him like you're scared he's going to disappear. Like you can't believe he's real. Maya shrugged. It's pretty obvious. Marcus and Elena exchanged glances. Are you okay with it? Marcus asked carefully. If Miss Elena and I are together? Maya considered this, her spoon suspended over her sundae. Does this mean she'll come to more of my school things? Yes, Elena said, if you want me there. And she'll be at Christmas? If you'll have me. And she's going to be my second mom eventually? Marcus felt his heart stop. Maya, we haven't talked about— I'm okay with it, Maya said simply. Mommy would be too. How do you know that? Marcus's voice was barely a whisper. Because Mommy wanted you to be happy. She told me, right before she went to heaven. She said, Maya, make sure Daddy finds someone who makes him smile again. Promise me. Maya's eyes glistened. I promise, Daddy. And Miss Elena makes you smile. Marcus couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. Elena reached across the table and took Maya's hand. Your mother sounds like an incredible woman. She was. You would have liked her. I think I would have too. Maya smiled. So does this mean I can call you Mom now? Elena laughed through tears. Maybe we should start with Elena. We can work up to Mom. Okay, but I'm going to practice in my head. That's fair. Maya went back to her ice cream, satisfied that the adult matters had been resolved. Marcus stared at his daughter in amazement. When did you get so wise? He asked. I've always been wise, Daddy. You just weren't paying attention. Elena laughed so hard she snorted. And sitting there in that purple booth, with ice cream melting and the afternoon sun streaming through the window, Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in years. He felt like he was home. The peace didn't last. 3 days after the board meeting, Marcus's face was on the front page of the business section. Ashford, CEO's secret romance. Driver becomes distraction. The article was brutal. Unnamed sources, almost certainly Blackwell, described Marcus as an opportunist and a social climber. They questioned his qualifications. They implied he was only interested in Elena's money. Worst of all, they mentioned Maya. Sources close to the situation suggest Williams has been using his young daughter to manipulate the vulnerable CEO. Marcus read the article 3 times, his hands shaking with rage. His phone rang. Elena. "Don't read it," she said immediately. Too late. "Marcus, I'm so sorry. I'm having my lawyers—" They mentioned Maya. "They put my daughter in the newspaper." Silence. "I'll destroy them," Elena said quietly. "I'll find whoever leaked this, and I'll make them regret ever—" "It's not about revenge, Elena. It's about protecting my daughter." I know. I'm working on it." "Are you? Because right now it feels like your world is bleeding into mine, and Maya's the one paying the price." The words came out harsher than he intended. "Is that what you think?" Elena's voice was small. "That I'm not trying to protect her?" "I think you're fighting a war, and my daughter is caught in the crossfire." "Marcus, I need to go. Maya's going to see this. I need to talk to her first." He hung up. Immediately, he regretted it. But he didn't call back. Maya came home from school in tears. "Kids were saying mean things about you," she sobbed. "They said you're using Miss Elena for money. They said you're a bad person." Marcus held her tight, fury and heartbreak warring in his chest. "None of that is true, baby girl. You know that." "I know, but why are they saying it?" "Because some people don't understand, and some people don't want to understand." "But why?" He didn't have an answer. That night, his mother called. "I saw the article." "Mama, don't. Don't tell me it's going to be okay. Don't tell me they don't mean it." Her voice was fierce. "Those people put my granddaughter in the newspaper. They called my son a gold digger." "I know. So what are you going to do about it?" Marcus was quiet for a long moment. "I don't know yet." "You love this woman?" "Yes." "Then fight for her. But protect your daughter first." His mother's voice softened. "Marcus, your father loved me more than life. But when it came to you kids, love always came second to safety. That's what good parents do." "What if I can't have both?" "Then you make the hardest choice of your life, and you live with it." She hung up. Marcus sat in the dark for hours, thinking. Elena texted at midnight. "I'm sorry. I should have protected you better." He didn't respond. "Please don't shut me out. We can figure this out." Still nothing. "Marcus, I love you. Please." He typed back, "I need time." Then he turned off his phone. The next morning, Maya asked if she could stay home from school. "Just for today," she said. "I don't want to answer questions." Marcus let her stay. They watched movies, made pancakes, pretended everything was normal. But nothing was normal. At noon, the doorbell rang. Maya ran to answer it before Marcus could stop her. Elena stood in the hallway, looking like she hadn't slept in days. She held a folder in her hands. "I know you said you needed time," she said quickly, "but I have something important." "Elena, this isn't—" "Please, just look." She handed him the folder. Inside were legal documents, contracts, official statements. "What is this?" "It's a trust fund. For Maya. Regardless of what happens between us, whether we stay together, whether we fall apart, whether I lose everything, Maya will have access to the best education, the best opportunities for the rest of her life. Elena's voice shook. I know I can't undo the article. I can't make the world stop being cruel. But I can make sure your daughter is protected, no matter what. Marcus stared at the documents. The numbers were staggering. Elena, this is too much. It's not enough. It will never be enough. She looked at Maya, who was peeking around Marcus's leg. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry people are saying mean things. I'm sorry my world touched yours in a bad way. Maya stepped forward. Are you and Daddy fighting? We're struggling. Because of me? No, baby. Elena knelt down to Maya's level. Because of grown-ups who don't know how to be kind. But I promise you, I promise, that whatever happens, I will always be here for you, even if your daddy decides he doesn't want me around anymore. Maya looked up at Marcus. Do you not want Miss Elena around anymore? The question hit him like a punch. He looked at Elena, kneeling on his worn carpet in her expensive clothes, tears streaming down her face, offering everything she had to protect his daughter. He looked at Maya, caught between two worlds, asking the only question that mattered. No, he said quietly. I want her around. Elena's breath caught. But this has to change, Marcus continued. The leaks, the articles, the board games. If we're going to do this, really do this, then we need to do it on our terms, not theirs. What does that mean? It means we stop hiding. Stop letting them control the narrative. He helped Elena to her feet. It means we tell our story, our way, before they can twist it anymore. Elena's eyes widened. You want to go public? I want to stop running. She looked at Maya, then back at Marcus. Okay, she said. Okay, let's stop running. Maya tugged on Elena's sleeve. Miss Elena? Yes, sweetheart? Can I call you Mom now? I've been practicing in my head and I'm pretty good at it. Elena laughed through her tears and pulled Maya into her arms. Yes, baby. Yes, you can. And Marcus, watching the two people he loved most in the world hold each other, made a decision. He was done being afraid. It was time to fight. The press conference was Elena's idea. The venue was Marcus's. We do it at Riverside Community Center, he said. My neighborhood, my people, not some corporate tower where everything feels staged. Elena hesitated. Marcus, the optics are exactly why we do it there. You want to show the world you've changed? Then stand where you once refused to drive. She was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. Okay, Riverside it is. The news spread fast. Elena Ashford, Billionaire CEO, holding a press conference in one of the city's poorest neighborhoods. The speculation was vicious. Some said it was a publicity stunt. Others said she'd lost her mind completely. Blackwell released a statement calling it further evidence of erratic behavior. Marcus didn't care. For the first time in months, he felt like he was in control. The night before the press conference, his mother arrived. She'd taken a bus from North Carolina, 14 hours, because she didn't trust airplanes and couldn't afford one anyway. Marcus picked her up at the station at 6 a.m. You look tired, she said, pulling him into a hug. Didn't sleep much. Neither did I. Buses aren't made for sleeping. She pulled back, studied his face. You ready for tomorrow? No. Good. That means you understand what's at stake. Maya was still asleep when they got home, but she woke up the moment she heard her grandmother's voice. Grandma! Dorothy Williams caught her granddaughter as she launched herself across the room. Look at you, Getting so big. You're going to be taller than me soon. Daddy says I get that from Mommy. You get a lot of things from your mommy, baby girl. Dorothy kissed Maya's forehead. Now where's this woman I've been hearing so much about? Marcus checked his phone. She's coming for dinner. I wanted you two to meet before tomorrow. Smart. Better to size her up in private than in front of cameras. Mama, please don't. Don't what? Don't be myself? Dorothy smiled. Marcus, I raised 3 children on a nurse's salary while your father worked double shifts. I've earned the right to be exactly who I am. I know, you love her. I can see it all over your face. She squeezed his hand. That's the only reason I'm here, because my son loves someone, and I need to see if she deserves him. Elena arrived at 6 o'clock sharp. She'd dressed down, simple blouse, slacks, minimal jewelry, but she still looked like $1 billion, and Dorothy noticed. Mrs. Williams. Elena extended her hand. It's an honor to meet you. Dorothy looked at the hand, then at Elena's face, then back at the hand. You're prettier than the newspapers show. Elena blinked. Thank you? Wasn't a compliment. Pretty is easy. Character is hard. Dorothy finally shook her hand. Come in. Dinner's almost ready. The meal was tense at first. Dorothy asked questions, pointed questions, the kind that didn't have easy answers. My son tells me you inherited your father's company. What else did you inherit from him? Elena set down her fork. His expectations, his pressure, his prejudices. And what did you do with those prejudices? I'm trying to unlearn them. Trying isn't doing. You're right. Elena met Dorothy's eyes. I grew up believing certain things about certain people. Ugly things. Things I'm ashamed of. I can't change where I came from, Mrs. Williams, but I can change where I'm going. Dorothy was quiet for a long moment. My husband died when Marcus was 15, she said finally. Heart attack at the factory. They gave me a check for 2 months' salary and a card signed by people who couldn't remember his name. She leaned forward. I raised my children to believe they could be anything, that the world would judge them fairly if they worked hard enough. That was a lie, of course. The world doesn't judge fairly. It judges by what it sees, and what it sees is color first, character second. I know. Do you? Do you really? Dorothy's voice hardened. Because knowing it and living it are 2 different things. My son has lived it every day of his life. My granddaughter will live it too. If you're going to be part of this family, you need to understand what that means. Elena took a deep breath. Mrs. Williams, I can't pretend to understand what your family has experienced. I grew up with every advantage, money, connections, the right name, the right skin. I never had to worry about being seen as less than human because of how I looked. She paused. But I'm learning. Every day Marcus teaches me something new. Maya teaches me something new. And I know I'll never fully understand, but I'm committed to standing beside them anyway, to fighting for them, to using everything I have to protect them. Dorothy studied her for a long moment. Then she picked up her fork and started eating again. The chicken's getting cold. Eat. Elena glanced at Marcus, confused. He smiled slightly. That's her way of saying you passed. Passed what? The first test. Dorothy snorted. First test is showing up. The real tests come later. After dinner, while Elena helped Maya with her homework, Dorothy pulled Marcus aside. She's not what I expected. What did you expect? Someone colder, someone more polished. Dorothy looked toward the living room, where Elena was laughing at something Maya said. She's wounded, Marcus, deep down. I can see it. I know. Wounded people can be dangerous. They lash out. They hurt the ones closest to them. She's not going to hurt me, Mama. Maybe not on purpose. Dorothy took his hand. I'm not telling you to leave her. I can see you love her, and I can see she loves you. But be careful. Protect your heart. Protect Maya's heart. Because if this falls apart, it won't. But if it does, it won't, Mama. Marcus squeezed her hand. I promise. Dorothy sighed. You're stubborn. I get it from you. She laughed, despite herself. Yeah, you do. The morning of the press conference, Marcus woke up at 4 a.m. He couldn't sleep, couldn't stop thinking about everything that could go wrong. The questions they'd ask, the accusations they'd make, the way the world would judge them. Elena was already awake when he texted her. Can't sleep either, she wrote back. Meet me at the center. I want to see it before the cameras arrive. He drove to Riverside in the pre-dawn darkness. Elena was waiting outside, wrapped in a coat that probably cost more than his car. You didn't have to come this early, he said. Yes, I did. She looked at the building. This is where you grew up? Down the street. This is where I learned to read, where I had my first basketball game, where my dad coached Little League until he couldn't anymore. Tell me about him. Marcus leaned against the car. He was a machinist, worked at the same factory for 27 years, never complained, even when his back got bad, even when the hours got longer and the pay stayed the same. He smiled at the memory. He used to say, Marcus, the world's going to tell you what you can't do. Your job is to prove it wrong. He sounds wonderful. He was. He would have loved you. Even with everything? Elena looked at him. Even knowing where I came from? What my family believed? My dad believed in redemption. He believed people could change if they wanted it bad enough. Marcus took her hand. He would have seen what I see. Someone fighting to be better. Elena's eyes glistened. What if I'm not strong enough? What if I get up there today and freeze? What if I make everything worse? Then we deal with it. Together. You keep saying that word. Because it's true. He pulled her close. Elena, I'm not going anywhere. Whatever happens today, whatever happens tomorrow, I'm right here. And so is Maya. And so is my mother, even though she'll never admit she likes you. Elena laughed through her tears. She's terrifying. She's protective. There's a difference. Not much of one. Marcus kissed her forehead. Come on, let's go inside. I want to show you something. He led her into the community center, past the basketball court, past the library, to a small room in the back filled with photographs. This is the Wall of Pride, he said. Every kid who's come through this center and done something with their life. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, soldiers. Elena studied the photos. Is yours up here? Third row, right side. First in my family to graduate college. She found it. Marcus at 22, cap and gown, grinning like the world was his. You look so young. I was young. Thought I had everything figured out. He laughed softly. I had no idea. Elena turned to face him. I want Maya's picture up here someday. It will be. I'll make sure of it, whatever it takes. She touched his face. I'm ready, Marcus. Let's do this. The press showed up at noon. Cameras, reporters, bloggers with phones. They filled the community center's main hall, hungry for blood, ready to tear Elena apart. Blackwell was there too, standing in the back, arms crossed, smug smile on his face. He thought he'd already won. Marcus stood beside Elena behind the podium. His mother sat in the front row with Maya. The whole neighborhood had turned out. People Marcus had known his whole life, watching to see what would happen. Elena stepped up to the microphone. Thank you all for coming, Her voice was steady, stronger than Marcus expected. "I know there's been a lot of speculation about why I called this press conference. About my personal life, about my judgment, about my fitness to lead Ashford Industries." She paused. Let the silence build. "I'm here today to address all of it, directly, honestly, without lawyers or PR teams telling me what to say." A murmur went through the crowd. "My name is Elena Ashford. I'm the CEO of a company worth $4 billion. And I'm in love with my driver." Gasps. Camera flashes. Blackwell's smug smile flickered. "His name is Marcus Williams. He's 34 years old. He's a single father. He's a former accountant who lost his job and took the only position he could find to support his daughter." Elena's voice strengthened. "He's also the kindest, most honest, most courageous person I've ever met. And I'm tired of hiding how I feel about him." A reporter shouted, "Miss Ashford, isn't this relationship a conflict of interest?" "Marcus resigned as my driver 3 days ago. He's no longer my employee. He's my partner." Another voice. "What about the board's concerns? Harrison Blackwell has called your judgment into question." "Harrison Blackwell can speak for himself," Elena cut in. "But since he's brought it up, let me be clear. The board's concerns aren't about my judgment. They're about my choices. They're uncomfortable that I've chosen to love someone who doesn't look like them, doesn't come from their world, doesn't fit their expectations." She looked directly at Blackwell. "That discomfort is not my problem. It's theirs." Blackwell pushed forward. "Miss Ashford is deflecting from the real issues. Her leadership has been erratic. Her decisions have been influenced by personal—" "Mr. Blackwell." Elena's voice was ice. "You spent the last 3 months trying to destroy me. You've leaked stories to the press. You've called my employees behind my back. You've tried to turn my own board against me." She stepped forward. "And you failed. Because despite everything you've done, Ashford Industries is stronger than ever. Our stock is up. Our employees are loyal. Our clients are satisfied. The board voted to keep me. You lost." Elena smiled coldly. "And now you're going to keep losing. Because I'm done playing by your rules. I'm done pretending that leadership means being cold and alone and afraid of human connection." She turned back to the cameras. "I know there are people watching this who think I'm making a mistake, who think Marcus is using me for my money, who think I'm too emotional, too soft, too compromised to run a company." She paused. "To those people, I say this. Watch me." She reached out her hand. Marcus took it. "This man and his daughter have made me better. They've shown me that success isn't measured in stock prices or quarterly reports. It's measured in moments of genuine happiness, in the courage to choose love over fear." Her voice cracked. "My father ran Ashford Industries for 30 years. He was brilliant. He was ruthless. And he died alone at his desk, with no one to hold his hand, no one to mourn him except the people who wanted his money." Tears streamed down her face, but she didn't stop. "I don't want that life. I refuse to have that life. And if the price of being human is losing the respect of people who never respected me anyway," she looked at Blackwell, "then it's a price I'm willing to pay." Silence. Then, from the front row, Maya stood up. "That's my dad," she said loudly. "And that's going to be my mom. And they're the best people in the whole world." Laughter. Applause. More camera flashes. Marcus looked at his daughter, his heart bursting with pride. Dorothy pulled Maya back into her seat, but she was smiling. Actually smiling. Elena squeezed Marcus's hand. "Any questions?" The room exploded. The questions went on for an hour. Some hostile, some sympathetic, all relentless. "Mr. Williams, how do you respond to accusations that you're a gold digger?" Marcus leaned into the microphone. I drove a 10-year-old Honda when I met Elena. I took a job no one wanted because I was 2 weeks from being evicted. I didn't know she was a billionaire until I was already working for her. He paused. I fell in love with a woman who keeps butterfly drawings in her desk and cancels meetings to take my daughter to museums. The money has nothing to do with it. Ms. Ashford, what does this mean for the future of the company? It means Ashford Industries will continue to grow and evolve, with leadership that values both excellence and humanity. Mr. Williams, what would you say to people who think this relationship is inappropriate? Marcus looked at Elena, then at Maya, then at his mother. I'd say that love is never inappropriate. What's inappropriate is judging people for who they choose to care about. He turned back to the cameras. My wife died 4 years ago. She made me promise to find happiness again, to not let grief become my whole life. His voice thickened. Elena Ashford makes me happy. She makes my daughter happy. And if that bothers people, that's their burden to carry, not mine. The press conference ended with more questions than answers. But as the cameras shut off and the reporters filed out, something had shifted. Blackwell tried to approach Elena. "This isn't over," he hissed. "You think a pretty speech is going to save you? I have allies. I have resources. I have nothing." Elena's voice was calm, steady. "You have nothing, Harrison. The board saw through you. The press saw through you. And now the world sees through you. You're making a mistake." "No. I made a mistake when I let you intimidate me. When I let you make me feel ashamed of who I love." She stepped closer to him. "That ends today." Blackwell's face reddened. "Your father, my father, is dead, and I'm done living in his shadow." She turned and walked away. Marcus followed, his heart pounding. Outside the community center, a crowd had gathered. Not press. People from the neighborhood. Marcus's neighbors. His mother's friends. Kids he'd coached at basketball camp. They were applauding. An elderly woman grabbed Elena's hand. "You're welcome here any time, sweetheart." A young man in a postal uniform nodded at Marcus. "Proud of you, brother." Maya ran through the crowd and grabbed both their hands. "Did we win, Daddy?" Marcus looked at Elena, at the community center, at his mother standing in the doorway with tears in her eyes. "Yeah, baby girl. I think we did." That night, after Maya was asleep, Marcus and Elena sat on his fire escape. The city spread out below them, lights flickering, horns honking, life happening in a million different ways. "I was terrified," Elena admitted. "The whole time, my hands were shaking." "You didn't look scared. I've had a lot of practice hiding it." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "Marcus, what happens now?" "Now we live. We figure out how to be together without the world watching every move." "The world is always going to be watching. That's the price of who I am." "Then we give them something worth watching." He kissed her hair. "A family. A partnership. Two people who chose each other despite everything." Elena was quiet for a moment. "My mother called." Marcus tensed. "What did she say?" "She saw the press conference. Said I'd embarrassed the family name." Elena laughed bitterly. "Then she said maybe it was time to stop caring about the family name." "Is that good?" "It's the closest she's ever come to acceptance." She looked up at him. "Your mother is something else." "She liked you." "She scared me." "That's how you know she liked you," Marcus smiled. "She wouldn't waste energy on someone she didn't think mattered." Elena pulled something from her pocket, a small velvet box. Marcus's heart stopped. "Before you panic," she said quickly, "this isn't what you think." She opened it. Inside was a key. "It's to my penthouse. I know it's too soon for anything official, but I want you and Maya to have a place there. A room. A home away from home. She met his eyes. I want you in my life, Marcus. Not just for dates and press conferences. For everything. Marcus took the key, turned it over in his hand. My lease is up next month. I know. Maya's school is across town from your place. I checked. There's a better school 2 blocks away. Private. Excellent science program. Already has a spot for her if she wants it. Marcus stared at her. You planned this. I hoped for it. There's a difference. He looked at the key, at Elena, at the city below. My mother is going to say you're moving too fast. Your mother is probably right. Doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. Elena's face lit up. Is that a yes? Marcus pocketed the key. It's a yes. She kissed him then, under the stars, on a fire escape in the neighborhood where he'd grown up. And Marcus Williams, the man who'd taken a job no one wanted, finally understood what his wife had meant. Happiness wasn't something you found. It was something you chose. 6 months later, Marcus stood in front of a mirror, adjusting a tie that cost more than his old Honda. You look nervous, Daddy. Maya sat on the bed behind him, swinging her legs, wearing a purple dress that Elena had picked out. Purple flowers were pinned in her braided hair. I am nervous, baby girl. Why? You love Miss Elena. I do. More than anything. Then why are you nervous? Marcus turned to face his daughter. 9 years old now. Growing so fast, it made his heart ache. Because today changes everything. When I walk down that aisle, when I say those words, we become a family. A real family. You, me, and Elena. Maya tilted her head. We're already a family, Daddy. This just makes it official. He laughed, despite his nerves. When did you get so smart? I've always been smart. You just don't pay attention. You keep saying that. Because it keeps being true. A knock at the door. Dorothy Williams entered, wearing a blue dress that Marcus had never seen before. Mama, you look beautiful. Don't sound so surprised. She straightened his tie. You look like your father on our wedding day. Same nervous hands, same scared eyes. She cupped his face. Same good heart. I wish he was here. He is, baby. He's watching. Dorothy's eyes glistened. And he's proud. Just like I am. Even though I'm marrying a billionaire? Even though you're marrying someone who makes you happy. She kissed his cheek. That's all I ever wanted for you, Marcus. Happiness. And that woman, despite everything I thought when I first met her, makes you happy. She does. Then that's enough for me. Another knock. This time it was Rachel, Elena's assistant, now one of Marcus's closest friends. It's time. Everyone's waiting. Marcus took a deep breath, looked at Maya, looked at his mother. Okay, let's go get married. The ceremony was held at Riverside Community Center. It had taken months of renovation to transform the old building into something worthy of a wedding. Elena had wanted to pay for everything, but Marcus insisted on contributing. They'd compromised. She handled the construction, he handled the decorations. The result was something neither of them could have created alone. Purple flowers everywhere. Maya's choice. White chairs arranged in careful rows. A simple arch covered in ribbons and lights. Photos on every table, not of celebrities or business partners, but of family. Marcus's parents on their wedding day. Elena as a child, before the ice set in. Maya's mother, Denise, smiling in the summer sun. She should be here, Elena had said when Marcus suggested the photo. She's part of this story too. Marcus had loved her even more for understanding that. Now, standing at the front of the room, he watched the doors open. Elena appeared. She wore white, simple, elegant, nothing like the designer gowns she wore to galas. Her hair was down, soft around her shoulders. She carried purple flowers that Maya had picked out herself. She was beautiful. But what struck Marcus most was her expression. Not the Ice Queen mask he'd met on that first day. Not the carefully controlled CEO face she wore in boardrooms. Just Elena. Vulnerable. Hopeful. In love. She walked toward him, and the world fell away.
"Hi,"
She whispered when she reached him. "Hi."
"I'm terrified."
Me too.
"Good. At least we're terrified together."
The officiant began speaking, but Marcus barely heard the words. He was too busy looking at Elena, remembering everything they'd been through, everything they'd overcome. The interview where she'd refused to shake his hand, the weeks of criticism and cold silences, Maya's butterfly drawing that cracked the first piece of ice, the breakfast at the diner where she'd asked him to call her Elena, the gala where she defended him in front of everyone, the press conference where they'd claimed their love in front of the world, and now this moment, this promise. "Marcus," the officiant said, "do you have your vows?" He nodded, pulled a piece of paper from his pocket, then put it away. "I wrote something," he said. 3 pages of careful words. But standing here, looking at you, none of them feel right. Elena's eyes widened. "So I'm going to say what's in my heart instead." He took her hands. "Elena, when I took this job, I was desperate. I was 2 weeks from losing my home. I was terrified of failing my daughter. I would have done anything to survive." He paused. "But then I met you, and everything changed."
"You weren't what I expected. You were cold and demanding and sometimes cruel. But underneath all that armor, there was someone fighting to be better, fighting to escape her father's shadow, fighting to become the person she wanted to be, instead of the person the world told her to be."
His voice thickened. "My wife Denise made me promise, before she died, to find happiness again. I didn't think I could keep that promise. I thought happiness was something that happened once, and when it was gone forever." He looked at Maya, sitting in the front row between Dorothy and Rachel. "But then you came along, and you showed me that happiness isn't something you find. It's something you choose. It's something you build. It's something you fight for every single day, even when the world tells you it's impossible." He met Elena's eyes. "I choose you, Elena, today and every day, in the boardrooms and the diners, in the penthouses and the community centers, in the good times and the hard times, and every moment in between." He squeezed her hands. "I love you, not despite who you are, because of who you are, because of who you're becoming. And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life watching you grow." Elena wiped her eyes. "You were supposed to warn me you'd make me cry." "Where's the fun in that?" She laughed through her tears, then pulled out her own paper, then, like Marcus, put it away. "I was going to talk about the company," she said, "about what it means to have someone who challenges me and supports me and makes me better. But that's not what this is about." She took a breath. "Marcus, when I met you, I was broken. I didn't know it. I'd convinced myself that ice was strength and isolation was safety. But I was broken. My father's daughter, my mother's disappointment, a shell of a person playing a role she never wanted." Her voice cracked. "And then you walked into my office. You, with your worn-out tie and your quiet dignity, and your refusal to be broken by anything I threw at you. You, who loved your daughter so much you'd endure any humiliation to provide for her. You, who saw through every mask I wore and still stayed." She looked at Maya,
And you, sweet girl, you saw me. Not the CEO, not the billionaire, not the ice queen everyone warned you about. Just me. A lonely woman who kept butterfly drawings in her desk because no one had given her anything beautiful in years. Maya was crying now. So was Dorothy. So was half the audience. Elena turned back to Marcus. I spent my whole life thinking I had to be cold to survive. That caring about people was weakness.
That love was a liability I couldn't afford. She shook her head. I was wrong. About all of it. She took his hands tighter. You taught me that strength isn't about crushing people. It's about lifting them up. You taught me that love isn't a liability. It's the only thing worth fighting for. You taught me that family isn't blood. It's choice. It's showing up. It's saying together and meaning it. Her voice strengthened. I choose you, Marcus Williams. You and Maya. Today and forever. I choose Sunday pancakes and school presentations and arguments about whose turn it is to do dishes. I choose the life I never thought I could have, the family I never thought I deserved. She lifted his hands to her lips. I love you, and I'm done pretending I don't deserve to be loved back. The officiant cleared his throat, visibly moved. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. He smiled. You may kiss the bride. Marcus pulled Elena close. Ready? He whispered. With you? Always. He kissed her. The room erupted in applause. Maya ran up the aisle and threw herself at both of them. We're a family now, she shouted. For real and official. Elena lifted her up, laughing and crying at the same time. For real and official, baby girl. Dorothy approached, dabbing her eyes with a handkerchief. I was wrong about you, she said to Elena. About what? Everything. Dorothy pulled her into a hug. Welcome to the family, sweetheart. Elena's face crumpled. Thank you. That means more than you know. I know exactly what it means. Dorothy pulled back, studied her face. Now, let's eat. All this crying has made me hungry. The reception was everything Marcus had imagined, and nothing like Elena's world usually looked. No champagne towers or ice sculptures, just good food, loud music, and people who genuinely loved each other. Neighbors from Riverside danced with executives from Ashford Industries. Dorothy taught Rachel how to do the electric slide. Maya convinced everyone to form a conga line around the basketball court. Marcus watched it all from the side of the room, his heart so full it hurt. What are you thinking? Elena appeared beside him, 2 glasses of punch in her hands. I'm thinking this is the happiest I've been since Denise was alive. Elena handed him a glass. Is it strange, being this happy? A little. I keep waiting for something to go wrong. Nothing's going to go wrong. Something always goes wrong. Elena took his hand. Then we'll handle it, together. There's that word again. It's a good word. She leaned her head on his shoulder. Marcus, can I tell you something? Anything. I got a call this morning, before the ceremony. From who? My mother. Marcus tensed. What did she say? She said she's not coming, that she can't support this, that I've made my choice and now I have to live with the consequences. Elena, let me finish. She looked up at him. A year ago, that call would have destroyed me. I would have questioned everything, wondered if I was making a mistake, let her doubt become my doubt. She smiled. But when I hung up that phone this morning, I felt nothing but relief, because I realized something. Her approval isn't something I need anymore. Her love isn't something I have to earn. She squeezed his hand. I have a family now, a real family. People who love me for who I am, not who they want me to be. And that's enough.
It's more than enough. It's everything. Marcus pulled her close. I'm sorry she couldn't be here. I'm not. Elena kissed his cheek. I have everyone I need. Across the room, Maya was teaching Dorothy a TikTok dance. Both of them were laughing hysterically. Look at them, Marcus said. 3 months ago, my mother was terrified of you. Now she's learning dance moves from your stepdaughter. Our daughter, Elena corrected.
Maya is our daughter now. The words hit Marcus like a wave. Our daughter. Ours. Elena's eyes sparkled. I signed the adoption papers this morning. It becomes official next month. You didn't tell me. I wanted it to be a wedding gift. She touched his face. You gave me a family, Marcus. This is me giving one back. He kissed her, deep and long and full of promise. When they finally pulled apart, Maya was standing right next to them. Gross, she announced. You guys are always kissing now. Get used to it, Marcus said. You're stuck with us. I know, Maya grinned. It's the best. She hugged them both, tight and fierce. And standing there, surrounded by family and friends and the promise of a future he'd never imagined, Marcus Williams understood something his wife had tried to tell him 4 years ago. Love doesn't die. It transforms. It grows. It finds new shapes and new homes and new people to hold. Denise hadn't left him. She'd led him here. 1 year later, Marcus stood in front of a room full of students at Riverside Community Center. Behind him, a banner read, Future Leaders Program, Graduation Ceremony. When I was your age, he said, I sat in this very room, wondering if I'd ever amount to anything. My father had just died. My family was struggling. I couldn't see a future beyond the next rent payment. He looked at the faces in front of him, black kids, white kids, kids from every background imaginable. But someone believed in me. My mother, my teachers, people in this community who saw potential when I couldn't see it myself. He paused. Today, I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Ashford Industries. I work alongside my wife, who also happens to be my best friend. And together, we're trying to build a company that believes in people the way this community believed in me. Elena sat in the front row, Maya beside her, both of them beaming. I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this because I need you to understand something. Marcus leaned forward. The world is going to tell you what you can't do. It's going to look at where you come from and make assumptions about where you're going. It's going to put you in boxes and expect you to stay there. His voice strengthened. Don't listen. Don't believe it. Don't let anyone else write your story. He pointed at the banner behind him. You are future leaders, not because someone told you that you could be, because you decided you would be. And that decision, that choice, is the most powerful thing you'll ever make. Applause filled the room. Afterward, as families mingled and took photos, Elena appeared at Marcus's side. Good speech. I stole most of it from you. I know. I recognize the plagiarism. She kissed his cheek. You're good at this. The mentoring, the speaking, the inspiring. I had a good teacher. Your mother? And my wife. Elena laughed. Smooth. Maya ran over, clutching a certificate. Mom, Dad, look! I won the science award! Marcus felt his heart skip every time she called Elena Mom. Even after a year, it still hit different. Let me see, baby girl. Maya held up the certificate proudly. First place in the district science fair. My project was about butterfly migration patterns. Elena raised an eyebrow. Butterflies? They're important, Maya said seriously. They remind us that change is beautiful. That's what you always say. Elena's eyes glistened. I do say that.
And you're right, Maya hugged her. I love you, Mom. I love you too, sweetheart, more than you'll ever know.
Dorothy approached, camera in hand. Family photo, now, before I cry again. They gathered together, Marcus, Elena, Maya, Dorothy. Rachel jumped in at the last second. So did Mrs. Park, recovered from her fall and refusing to miss any family event. Say together, Dorothy commanded. Together! The camera flashed. Later that night, after everyone had gone home, Marcus and Elena sat on the fire escape of his old apartment building. They still owned the place, couldn't bring themselves to sell it. Too many memories, too much history. Do you ever miss it? Elena asked. The simple life, before all the press conferences and board meetings and constant attention. Marcus considered the question. Sometimes. I miss the quiet. I miss knowing exactly who I was and what I wanted. And now? Now I know who we are and what we want. He took her hand. That's better. Elena leaned against him. My mother called again. What did she say this time? She wants to meet Maya. Marcus sat up. Seriously? Apparently, my cousin sent her photos from the wedding. She saw Maya in them. Something changed. Elena shook her head. I don't understand it. I don't trust it. But she's asking. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me wants to tell her it's too late, that she had her chance, and she blew it. Elena's voice hardened. But another part of me, the part that Maya helped me find, wonders if people can change, really change, like I did. Marcus was quiet for a moment. My father used to say that grudges are like carrying rocks. You can hold on to them forever, but they only hurt you, not the person who gave them to you. What are you saying? I'm saying that forgiveness isn't about her. It's about you, about who you want to be. He squeezed her hand. You don't have to decide now. Take your time. Feel what you need to feel. And whatever you choose, I'll be right here. Elena was silent for a long time. Then she smiled. Have I told you lately that you're annoyingly wise? Not since this morning. Well, you are. She kissed him softly. And I love you for it. I love you too. They sat there until the stars came out. Two people who'd found each other against all odds, holding hands on a fire escape in the neighborhood where it all began. 2 years later, Marcus stood in the lobby of Ashford Industries, watching the new employees filter in for orientation. Young faces, eager faces. Some of them looked exactly like he'd looked on his first day. Terrified, determined, desperate to prove themselves. Mr. Williams? He turned. A young black woman stood before him, clutching a folder to her chest. I'm Keisha Johnson. I'm starting in the driver pool today. Marcus smiled. Welcome to Ashford Industries, Keisha. I just wanted to say, she hesitated. I read about you, your story, how you started as a driver and now you're COO. Her voice trembled. It gave me hope that someone like me could make it here. Marcus looked at her, really looked at her. Someone like you, he said gently, can make it anywhere. Don't let anyone tell you different, not even yourself. Keisha's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Marcus. Call me Marcus. He extended his hand. And if you ever need anything, advice, support, someone to talk to, my door is open. Always. She shook his hand. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you. She walked away, shoulders a little straighter than before. Elena appeared beside him. Making friends? Paying it forward. He watched Keisha disappear into the elevator. Someone believed in me once, gave me a chance when no one else would. Sounds like a smart person. She was okay, he grinned. Bit of an ice queen at first. Elena elbowed him. Watch it. I love you. I love you too. She checked her watch. Board meeting in 20 minutes. You ready? Always. They walked to the elevator together, side by side. Partners in every sense of the word. The doors closed. By the way, Elena said casually, I'm pregnant. Marcus froze. You're what? Pregnant. 8 weeks, she smiled. Surprise! He stared at her. You're serious. Doctor confirmed it this morning. I was going to tell you at dinner, but... She laughed at his expression. I couldn't wait. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. Maya's going to be a big sister. She's already planning the nursery. I may have accidentally told her first. Marcus pulled Elena into his arms, right there in the elevator. I love you, he said. I love you so much. I know, she held him tight. I know. The elevator doors opened. The boardroom waited. The world kept spinning. But for Marcus Williams, the man who'd taken a job no one wanted, driving for a woman everyone feared, everything had changed. He had a wife who challenged him and loved him in equal measure. He had a daughter who saw the world more clearly than most adults. He had a mother who'd finally admitted she liked Elena more than she'd expected. He had a community that had never stopped believing in him. And now, he had another chance, another life, another reason to wake up grateful every single day. Some stories end with happily ever after. This one ended with something better. It ended with a family, a real family, built not on blood or money or circumstance, built on choice, built on love, built on the simple, radical belief that people can change, and the changing together is the most beautiful thing of all. Marcus Williams took a job no one dared, and in doing so, he found his way home.